Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today I'll talk about a book which is of great interest to me on a topic which I want people to read more about and be more aware of, which is mental health. This book, which got published only last month, I think is a very interesting book which would benefit a lot of people who probably may not be fully aware of what is mental health and what are the different aspects of mental health. So, this book is called Unashamed. It's by a trained psychologist called Neha Bhat. She is a therapist and she has been practicing for more than 12 years now. So this book was published only a month back. It's available on Amazon. That's where I ordered it from. So this book explains, the title is Unashamed, and then it says notes from the diary of a sex therapist. Um, so, what is this book about? So, in this book, uh, Neha Bhat explains the concept of mental health, uh, talks about factors that impact mental health. For example, one misconception is that mental health is all about your circumstances, maybe your relationship, maybe your childhood, maybe some trauma, which is true, but a lot of times we are not aware that mental health can be affected by something as basic and simple as nutrition. It could be impacted by something as simple as your fitness routine. So, for example, a person who walks and jogs for 30 minutes every day is likely to be better off than somebody who's not following that kind of fitness or uh, health regime. What you eat, for example, impacts your mental health. So, for example, a diet which is protein rich and nutritious would have lots of benefits for you in terms of your mental health. A lot of people just assume that mental health means my situation, my job, my relationship, my spouse, my parents. Though it's there, they impact your mental health, but there are things in our control. I mean, what I eat is in my control. Uh, do I go for a walk? It's in my control. So it's important, first of all, to understand what factors impact mental health. Uh, there is something called trauma, which is a concept which we know vaguely about. In this book, Neha Bhatt explains trauma really well. This book is actually, it is divided into chapters. Each chapter is a case study. So, she has tackled many cases. So, she takes up those live cases. A patient came to her, like for example, a couple came to her and they were having problems in their relationship. So, how over maybe 7 8 sessions, how the therapist managed to reveal the problems in the relationship. So it is a book that would benefit anyone. Other thing that you should know is that mental health. We assume that mental health means that somebody is struggling and they need therapy. But interestingly, uh, any normal human being can benefit from therapy. So you don't have to have a symptoms of extreme case. You can go for therapy even if your life is seemingly normal. Other thing which comes out in this book is very important. Everyone is struggling. So what really happens is that we look around us, we have problems, we start thinking that okay, this person's life is sorted, that person is fine, this person is doing well, I am the only one who's struggling. But that is not true. Everyone is struggling. Everyone has got mental health problems. Now, the degree of those problems could vary. In some cases, it could be severe. In some cases, it could be mild to little more than mild. In some cases, it could be very mild. But everyone is afflicted with issues which impact their mental health. So nobody is living a great life. Seemingly they might, right? But they are not. So it is important to understand that, because once you make peace with that, that everyone is struggling. So if I am struggling, it's no big deal. It's not a problem. Also, in this book, uh, one thing which writer has done very well is explained the concepts in a scientific and rational manner. So cutting out all the jargon. Like for example, uh, therapist is not somebody which you should see as some. If I go to a therapist, there's a stigma attached to it. It's a form of treatment, right? It will benefit you. And good thing is that in India there is more and more talk about mental health. There's more and more talk about therapy. Also, there is less and less stigma around issues concerning mental health. So I think it's a welcome addition, this book, around the discussion of mental health, the need to make therapy not stigmatized. It should be accepted like going to a doctor. If you have a cold, if you've got fever, if you've got some kind of mild flu, you go to a doctor, right? There's no stigma there. But why should there be stigma when it comes to mental health? Mental health is like physical health. So why this stigma? And I like the fact that a lot of cases in this book are about people which we encounter every day. So it's not like somebody who's a serial killer, somebody who's got extreme depression. No, these are regular folks doing really well in life and aware of a lot of things, right? So if they are struggling, and each case study explains like a story, how the patient came in, how the first session was, the second session was, and how it panned out and how they benefited. And last point I would tell you is that getting a therapist who works for you is a process. So it's not as if that you decide to go to a therapist, you meet the first therapist, and everything is sorted. No, sometimes, for a number of reasons, right? Uh, one therapist may not work for you, which means that therapy is not the problem. Maybe your equation with the therapist was, so maybe you should choose another one. And it's a process. So let there be no stigma around therapy. Let there be no stigma about going to therapist, and there should be more discussion on the issues of mental health. I highly, highly recommend this book. Please buy it from Amazon or from a local bookstore. Either which way, I mean, it's fine. It's not very expensive. Also, I think it's for 4.99, which I think on Amazon you can get it for $400. So please pick up this book, read it, leave your comments, give your suggestions. It's a topic of my interest. In fact, I'll be doing a lot of reviews of books concerning mental health and mental well-being in the weeks to come. So thank you for watching my channel. It's always good to bring you some new books. And yeah, thank you very much, and have a lovely evening. And I'll see you soon. And please leave some comments if you feel like. Thank you very much.